Hi, students of ninth class. We're back again to finish the lesson, The Sound of Music, and the second part of it, Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Remember, last time we stopped in page number 22 in the last paragraph where Rasul Baksh, Bismillah Khan's grandfather, and Paigambar Baksh, Bismillah Khan's father, were great Shehnai players. So we continue from there. Now we spoke about his father and grandfather. Now we come to him, and I put up a stamp. Looks like India has made a stamp in August 2008 to commemorate his death anniversary. Remember, they made a doodle also for him. By Google made a doodle for him. This is also a stamp done by India for him, though. So we'll start reading the lesson. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Looks like his mother when she was small. Remember, I told maternal uncle is mother's side relation. She took him there to see all his uncles, and his many uncles looks like they play the Shehnai. And Bismillah Khan was very fascinated, was very amazed to see how nicely they play. Soon, Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. His uncle Ali Baksh was employed by the Vishnu temple in Banaras to play the Shehnai. So he used to go along with him. Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Ali Baksh's uncle used to play the Shehnai over there. Remember, it's an auspicious instrument, and for the god they used to play for the weddings and temples. So, but Bismillah used to sit and watch hours on end. He used to not even get bored. He used to sit and listen how nicely they're playing. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument. After some time, he also started learning to play the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day because he liked it so much that whole day he used to practice. Amazing it is, isn't it, to practice for the whole day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangal Maya and the banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The Balaji and Mangal Maya temple on the banks of Ganga they were, and young apprentice is a trainee because he was training under Ali Baksh, his uncle. He was a trainee, and favorite haunts like hangouts, like you like to go to the mall and all. His hangout was the bank of Ganga where he used to sit in solitude in peace and quiet and practice his songs. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that had earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Because he was all peaceful and he mastered the Shehnai, now he improvised. He wanted to change the whole thing, and he wanted to, new ragas he brought in. And people who never thought the Shehnai could play these ragas also. He did all that. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the 14 years of age, 3 years he went and started doing apprentice and all. 14 years he went to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." Another Ustad, another famous person called Fayaz Khan, he patted him on his back and told, "You should really work hard and then you should make it." That is for you also, isn't it? With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. I think the first time he got a major job was in 1938 in All India Radio. That was a national radio service. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio because radio people employed him so often. He used to play the Shehnai on the radio though. When India gained the independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He was the first person to play the Shehnai on the 15th of August 1947. I will send you the clip as a link. Why don't you listen to it? He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave him famous Tryst with Destiny speech. In front of Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi, he poured out. He was amazed that he whatever knowledge he had, he played the Rag Kafi and fascinated them. Bismillah Khan was given an immemorable performance both in India and abroad. He's given many performances. In India, he's given very good ones. And even in abroad also, he's given very good performances. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Khan was so taken by this maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. His first trip abroad, he was playing in India so long. First trip, he went to Afghanistan. And there, the king Zahir Khan was so impressed that he gave him Persia. Persia is famous for carpets and spices and all those things also. So he gave him Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Souvenirs are gift items special to their country. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated by Bismillah's music. He was not the first person to be fascinated by Bismillah's Shehnai playing. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Goonj Uti Shehnai. He heard him playing and he was so impressed that he named a movie only called Goonj Uti Shehnai. The movie he named after Bismillah Khan, listening to him play. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, he also wrote a song. Bismillah Khan also wrote a song for the movie, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. I'll give you the link. It's a very old song. It's, I think, 1959 movie. It's the song is called Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. I'll give you a link. You can listen to it. The lyrics. He wrote the song lyrics for it, not the music, not the Shehnai. He wrote the song, the words for it. Okay, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. It became like a major hit. Referring to Chartbuster is record breaker of that thing. Dil Ka Khilona Toot Gaya became like a record breaker. Despite this huge success in celluloid world, Bismillah Khan venture in films were limited to only two films. Even though he became so famous and all, only two films he did, I believe. Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uti Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas's Kannada venture Sannidhi Appanna. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. He says with emphasis. Even though he did two movies, Goonj Uti Shehnai and Sannidhi Appanna, as the Kannada movie looks like, but he didn't like it. He was saying that these film people are very artificial and I don't fit into this world. So he didn't like the film world. Awards and recognition came thick and fast as quickly, and once he became so famous, he made different ragas, started playing for the All India Radio and made movies. A lot of awards started coming his way. Like quickly and great numbers of awards came. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He was the first Indian to be playing in the Lincoln Center. Lincoln Center to play is like a major, you have to be quite famous to play in the Lincoln Center. He was the first Indian to be invited there. He also took part in the World's Exposition in Montreal. In Montreal also he went and played his thing though. In Cannes Art Festival and in the Osaka Trade Fair, a lot of places like Cannes Art Festival and Osaka Trade Fair also he went and played Shehnai. So well known did he become internationally that his auditorium in Tehran was named after him. He went to Tehran also and played the Shehnai, and the auditorium is named after him. It's called the Teher Muziki Ustad Bismillah Khan. Teher is a piece, is purest. Teher means purest, and Muziki is a mosque. So the place where the auditorium is named the Peaceful Mosque for Ustad Bismillah Khan. Teher Mosiki Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred to him. All the highest awards, the Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan were conferred to him. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. The Padma Shri comes first, then next the Padma Bhushan comes, then the Padma Vibhushan, and the most coveted and most wanted award is the Bharat Ratna, and he got it in 2001. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, on the award ceremony, he said, all I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition, and even the West is now coming to learn our music. He's saying, teach your kids also music, because I've realized it's so important in Hindustan. That's in India. And Indians, the Westerners also coming to listen to our music though. In spite of having travelled all around the world, Khan Saab, as he was fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. Even though he travelled to Japan, Osaka and Tehran and Afghanistan and US and so many other countries, Cannes and all, the film awards and all, but he still loves Dumrao, his home place, and India he loves too much though. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA. A student of his moved to the US and asked, why don't you come and start a Shehnai school in the US? And the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. He told, because you love Banaras so much, I'm going to make the same replica, same buildings like Banaras itself in the school, so you feel at home there. But Khan Saab asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. He told, it's just not Banaras, it's Ganga, the feel of it, the feel of living in India, I cannot surpass and leave and go. That much he loved India. Even though he got offers from the US to come and settle and all, he never accepted them. Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique matta of Dumrao. He's saying that's why he remember when he's in a foreign country, he thinks about India, I believe. Foreign country means think of India. And when he's in Mumbai, he thinks of Banaras and the holy Ganga river and all. And when he's in Banaras, he thinks of Dumrao, even more smaller town. So he's come from bigger, internationally to India, India to Mumbai, and Mumbai to Banaras he comes. And Banaras, he'll think of his matta is a buttermilk drink, like majige you call. Yeah, matta is the drink of Dumrao, that region. He misses that taste of it and the unique taste and of the drink he misses. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai even every morning at the Kasi Vishwanath temple. They're saying that even though he's a devout Muslim, he's a major Muslim person, but he can still play the Shehnai. It's amazing to see, he's saying though, how amazing it is that a devout Muslim also can play the Shehnai. I think I missed some part in there. There was an interview, I think, a small clip in page number 25 on top, the interview part of it. I believe Shekhar Gupta asked him, when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? They're asking because you're being a devout Muslim and things like that. Did you and your family not want to move to Pakistan when the partition happened? Was the question of a reporter. Then Bismillah Khan told, God forbid, oh no, how can I? He's saying though, me leave Banaras? Never. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. He just wanted to say that he's a Muslim and he went to Pakistan. He just crossed the border over there. I was there for about an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistanis and salaam alaikum to the Indians. I had a good laugh. He told namaskar to the Pakistanis and salaam alaikum to the Indians, and he had a good laugh. So what an amazing person he is. I think Bismillah Khan, you should read this lesson. And in the end of lesson, I'll send you the link for the song, the movie song, what was it? Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. I'll send you a link to that. And I'll send you the Shehnai recital of his when he, in 1947 in the Independence Day, he played the Shehnai, isn't it? Those two links I will send you. So whoever is interested can have a look. And I think he's a great person. I think in the end of this lesson, it says that if you practice hard, if you want something, you go towards it, practice very hard, you will get it. That's the lesson. So if you also practice in whatever studies or whatever you want to become for the future, you have a goal and all, you go towards it, real effort, a lot of effort you put into it, you will definitely succeed is the moral of the story. So you also, I think, should work very hard to reach where you want to reach, taking his example. So we'll stop here and I'll send you the links and I'll send you the question answers also for this lesson and some multiple answer questions.